William, here's your
Yes.
final statement.
Okay. For my final statement, there were so many choices through all the books we read. And I decided to go maybe not so much for the traditional ones like we have been talking about throughout the year. I kind of picked the theme of not judging the people you're around and not just looking at them and making assumptions right off the bat. We see this a lot in the book Love Does. That book we read throughout the year, just a chapter a week. Some of us got ahead and started reading his other books, Parker, Charlie. He's a great author and very enjoyable to listen to. But specifically in Love Does, I picked out the point when Bob Goff got out of, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by my background as well. When Bob Goff got off an airplane and was picked up by a limo to go to this convention that he was invited to. Now, midway through this, let's call it an excursion or trip, he started talking to his limo driver, and he was like, kept talking to him, and just saw him as a person and not somebody whose task was to get him from point A to point B. And at some point during this ride, Bob Goff just asked this man, "Have you ever ran the back one of these?" And Bob Goff and his driver says, "No, I think I'd get in trouble or get kicked out." And he says, "Don't worry about that. I'd take care of that regardless." Bob Goff truly embodied the, I'm sorry, Bob Goff really embodied the not judging spirit, and he drove his limo driver to the convention that he was supposed to be chauffeured to by really not judging him or putting him in a position where he felt like he was less than the person that was supposed to be driven. Next, we talk about the insanity of God with Nabil and David. Now, Nabil and David were best friends, and their first talk about religion, I believe, was actually in a coffee shop. And when they entered into this conversation, they were really trying to not judge each other by their original points of view or what they originally believed. They were just there to exchange conversation and to see if they could persuade one another in a way. Now, we eventually know that Nabil comes to Christ, and that's really awesome as well, but Nabil did his part by not just discounting David's point right off the bat. And kind of the third book I'd like to tie this theme into is actually from the Bible, and it's Matthew 5, verse 1. And it's, "Do not judge or you will be judged." And actually the theme of not judging comes up around 500 times in the Bible, which might sound like a lot because it is. And for it to be counted that many times in the Bible shows us its true importance. And when we go into our final points here, I really want to talk about the class that we have. First of all, I want to say that it has been a true honor to have class with you all throughout the years. You are truly the best group of people I've ever met or ever been with in a class. Your willingness to share ideas, whether it be in our group chats or just together when we're hanging out about the class and trying to improve our projects together, has been truly wonderful and something I've enjoyed throughout these years that we've had together. So with that, I want to end my final statement and just thank y'all.
Snap him out. Woo, what a great job. Hold on, gotta stop recording.